and I'd find some kind of funny way to say it.
I love that. Wessel. That's an interesting one. Wessel. Rib stab. That's fun. Hammy Whammy. That's an endearing name. Hammy Whammy. Interesting.
Yeah, it's mostly my family. And then some of the staff that knew me. Yeah.
Gotcha. Hey, Diane, great to see you. Hey, guys, as you're coming in, I'm asking you to drop in the chat where you're coming in from and the weirdest name or mispronunciation of your name you've ever had. I'm trying to make up for my mess up of messing up Milani's name. So oh, Mary Lou's Jessica's birthday. Camilla. Okay, there we go. These are awesome. For some reason, everyone calls me Jason. Like in my entire life, everyone calls me Jason. I have a lot of friends named Jason, and no one ever calls them James. But for some reason, I am Jason. So there we go. So now Milani's gonna make fun of me for the rest of my life and call me Jason.
I hope I wasn't rude.
No, I'm totally. I love it when someone tells me how to pronounce their name, because I think that it's so embarrassing if you thought someone's name was something and you knew them for months or years, and you're like, wait. A lot better that way. Absolutely. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Willie. Great to see you. Hey, as you're coming in, we got a couple minutes on the clock. We're going to have a fun night. Tammy, great to see you. Tiny, great to see you. But comment below where you're coming from. And I'm asking everybody, what's the weirdest name you've been called or mispronunciation of your name? PG-13. There's some weird names out there that may not be appropriate, but a family-friendly place, sunny San Diego. There we go. Someone called you Doorbell. Dobell. Okay. Yeah, I guess if you say it wrong, you know, makes sense.
I've also had duvet or duve, like D-O-V, and then bell. Mostly when I've picked up a lay-by. I don't know if you do lay-by or layaway, you call it. Yeah, so I've looked at the actual tag on my lay-by or layaway, and it said Duvel, like yeah, and I'm like, I say to them straight away, that's not my name. My name's Dobell. So I say, think of Homer Simpson saying Doe and then Bell.
There we go. Okay, that's a good way to describe it. I got it. Yeah, hot AZ. Yes, I'm assuming. I heard you can cook eggs on Arizona sidewalk. Is that true?
Yeah, you can cook bacon too. You can probably cook your whole meal outside.
There was a lady that actually baked cookies on top of her car.
Wow.
There's a man that bakes steak and baked potato inside his pickup truck out here in Buckeye.
Dang. Well, I guess as long as it's making you, then that's good. I'll take the food.
Yeah. It's called survival.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Erica, great to see you. Sean, buddy. Hey, guys, we got a minute on the clock before we hit live, but welcome. We're just having some fun. I love getting to know everybody. But comment below where you're coming in from. If you haven't yet, and if you're on our groups, we'd love to see you as well too. I'll check back to the comments later as well, but the Zoom rooms are it's at, so glad to see you guys. And I'm asking everybody, what's the weirdest name you've been called or mispronounced by ever? We got some interesting ones. A Lily turned to a Billy, Hammy Whammy. That's kind of cool. I might remember some of these, and I'll just call you these later on, so.
Okay, Jason.
Oh man, right back at me. Love it. Happy Valley, Oregon. What's up? Glad to have you guys. We're gonna have a good night. I hope you guys like having fun, because that's what we are all about. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, hey, let's get this kicked off the rounds. Let me make sure that we're good. And welcome, everybody. Hey guys, so welcome to the call. Happy Wednesday. Give me a wave or throw a 5 in the comments if you can hear me all right. What's up? Great to see you. If we haven't met yet, my name is James Zhang. I will be your MC and your host tonight. In a little bit, I'm going to introduce you to some special guests that I can't wait to learn from. In fact, I see him right now, Mr. Art Lee. Oh my goodness. If you could see an Asian face blush, you'll start to see that my cheeks are getting red because I'm telling you, you're in for a treat tonight because I'm curious, who here is here looking, you're open for ways to better your life, ways to make more money, ways to just make life better. Throw 1 in the comments if that would describe you. You're ambitious, you're entrepreneurial, you're looking how to expand, you're looking how to make it through these times when gasoline's expensive. I'm sure you could agree, food's more expensive, everything's more expensive. Well, tonight you're going to get some information about a way to actually do that. And by the end of this, if this makes sense for you, if you're here for the first time, you have an opportunity to be able to partner with us because I'm telling you this, there's unique time and there's unique opportunity that's at hand right now. So my goal is to talk as short as possible so I can save as much time as possible for Mr. Art Lee, who I can't wait to introduce you to. But if you haven't met me, just a quick little introduction. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 14 years. I'm now a speaker, a trainer. We're considered what's called the level 1 chairperson in this company, along with my amazing wife, Becky, who's on the line here with us as well too. But it didn't start that way. In fact, I got introduced to this type of business, not because I was looking for it, but because I was looking for a backup plan. The last recession, 2009, here's a snapshot. I was a broke college student trying to live out the American dream. I don't know if this sounds familiar. My parents told me if you want to do well in life, just go to school, study hard, and get a good job. Anyone else had family kind of tell you that as well too? So I was super obedient. I did that. I went to UC Berkeley. It was a really cool school. But when the recession hit, we started to think maybe it's wise to have a plan B. And especially now, who here would agree with me? It's wise to have multiple sources of income, right? Like 1 isn't enough, right, Milani? Like I saw that head right there. Like you need other things. But the question is, what's the wisest thing for you? And especially me, I was 19, I was broke, I had no experience. I was so shy, I couldn't order food at a restaurant. And what happened is I went to a meeting just like this, and I got introduced to a mentor and a business concept that changed my life. And I'll be honest, you can see positive today. I was really skeptical. I sat there, I looked at this, I was judging everything. I'm like, I think I know what this is. I've heard about these things. I'm not going to do this at all. And obviously 14 years later, that changed. Why? Because my mentor shared with me a couple of different things. He said, a closed mind costs fortunes. And I'm like, well, I'm broke. Here's a guy I met someone that was 23 that was making a 6-figure income, college dropout, who was doing that part-time. Like, he kind of knows something. He taught me a couple of things. Number 1, he taught me that a profit is better than a wage, right? Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living, profits make you a fortune. It was the first time I thought about business. And he also empowered me because I'm like, even if I found something good, I don't know if I could do well, right? Is anyone a little bit unconfident like I was? Like, he said, James, as long as you do what I do, then you can make what I make. And I'll teach you, I'll coach you, I'll mentor you. I'm like, I'll take that. I never thought I'd make a single penny here. 90 days in, though, I made all the mistakes in the book. I started making enough to fuel me through college. 2.5 years part-time in, I made enough part-time where I graduated from college, but I decided to never pursue that again. And I just went full bore into my entrepreneurial endeavor. And for the last 12 years, it's just been business since then. And it's an absolute honor to be here with you guys as well, too. It's taken us around the world. In fact, I think my greatest claim in this business was I recruited my top money earner who became my now wife, Becky. So marry up, guys. It's absolutely worth it, So anywho, we're not here to talk about me today, but I just want to encourage you that anybody, if you're real serious about what you see here today, can absolutely change your life. So if you're ready to get started, put a 10 in the comments below. As you can tell, I like a lot of engagement. I like chatting with you guys. I like feeling like we're in a living room and everything too. Awesome. Let's go. Let me submit to you guys this real quick. Okay. We're going to introduce you to 5 simple concepts on how to evaluate a business. I wonder if you would agree with me or not, but I've learned that these 5 things, if you find them, you have a good opportunity. Number 1, in a business, you want to find, you're going to sell something, right? Every business sells something. You want to find a product that's consumable, that's unique, and it's in demand. People want it, right? So you have to find the right thing there. Number two, you also want to make sure that you find something that doesn't cost a lot of money, but you can make a lot of money, right? Low cost, high margin. Number three, especially now, who here would love it if you could work from anywhere and make money from anywhere? Put a 2 in the comments if that sounds good, right? As long as you have a phone these days, can you actually use this to make money? So you want something scalable. You want something that can pay you while you're sleeping. Number four, best kept secret of the rich is that you only have 24 hours in a day. So can you find something where you can leverage your time, where with an hour a day, 2 hours a day, can you have the equivalent of 100 hours a day or 1,000 hours a day, right? I'm going to introduce Art Lee, who has compounded his time like crazy. And number five, assuming you have all that, do you have proper training? Do you have proper support? Let me ask you guys this question. Given the proper opportunity, if you were given actual legitimate training on how to do well, who here would consider yourself someone that's willing, coachable, and hungry to actually learn and take action if you found something like that, right? Throw a 5 in the comments if you would say that that's the type of person that you are, you know? You got to be hungry. You got to be ready to be like, all right, whatever it is, let's go figure it out. So we believe that this opportunity called Partner Co fulfills those types of things. Now, why is that? And what is this company? If you haven't heard about Partner Co, we recently relaunched this 5 months ago because this company was going through some amazing growth. We're a global company in 50 plus markets around the world. So it's awesome that you can automatically get involved in all those. And we deal with wellness, right? And I like this. And why? Because our goal is to be able to change this standard of what's considered normal. Now, it's unfortunate, and I wonder if you would agree with me or not, but who here sees that normal's kind of like sick these days? Right? Like it's normal to get some type of illness. It's normal to have diabetes. It's normal to have high cholesterol or blood pressure, be on meds or anything like that. But it doesn't mean that it's natural. Our mission as a company is to change that standard. Now, let me ask this question. Who here would rather it be that normal is healthy, right? Like normal is vibrant. Normal is you wake up and you feel amazing, right? We want to challenge that. And the way that we do that is through holistic means. We have some simple solutions that come in the form of some beautiful products. We have a house of brands here. I won't go too much into all of them, but you can talk to the friend that connected you here if you have any other questions on that. But they are brands that are actually backed by science. They're clean, they're effective. When you use it, it works basically, right? We have a lot of studies, a lot of science. In fact, if you look at this page, if you're into like ingredients and stuff, these are all voluntary third-party manufacturing standards, which means that when you take it, it's athlete approved, doctors love this, it actually works. My mentor shared me this philosophy that the most expensive product is the one that doesn't work. So keep rest assured these things are good. Now, I'm just going to go through a couple of them real quick with you guys. And as I go through these, I want you to answer these questions to yourself. Number one, can I see myself benefiting? Number two, do I see other people benefiting? Because if you can say yes to that, there's an opportunity, right? So let's start with this. Some people call these the skinny drops. It's our slenderized system. Does anyone here have a friend that wouldn't mind losing some weight? Put a 1 in the comments, right? Milani, raise your hand. I see you guys right there, right? Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people, okay? Well, this is the solution. These 2 little drops, you put them on your tongue, they're homeopathic, they're natural, and we call them skinny drops because they help you to curb your bad cravings. They actually help you to be able to, they will call them discipline drops. They help you to rebalance your hormones, and they're able to support your health and your system. And women lose half a pound a day on this on average. Men lose 2/3 a pound a day. I know it's unfair, men, hormones and stuff like that, but 15 pounds in a month, that's not bad. All right. And we've seen so many transformations. I lost 25 pounds in 40 days with no exercise on this. My wife lost 15.6 pounds. If you got any results, by the way, put it into the comments below. Mary Jo, she tried every system in the world until this one. She lost 81 pounds in 4 months. It's 20 pounds a month, got off her blood pressure medications. Her hubby hopped on it, Russell, Russell got rid of the dad bod, 27 pounds in 30 days. Azomed's gone. His cravings for smoking went away. Now, I'm not here to say that any of these cure, treat, or diagnose anything, but amazing things. Angela lost 9 pounds. Amanda feels less bloated. Lily lost 26 pounds, 46 pounds in 4 months, Pam. That's crazy, right? Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I need to lose any weight. But you know what I think about as a business? There's a lot of people that might need help with that, right? So there's one thing. My gosh, I can't keep up with the chats. Congratulations, okay? So there's number one. Number two, if you don't know anyone who wants to lose weight, do you know anyone that wants to look or feel younger? Give me a wave if you wouldn't mind feeling like that as well too, right? I want to feel more energetic. I want to have better sleep. I want to be able to feel like I was in my 20s, right? So that's what Renew is. Renew is this little stick pack. You mix with water, you drink it, and it helps you to naturally stimulate what's called human growth hormone. That's the youth hormone. So you get benefits like better sleep, better energy, fat loss, hair gets better, your skin gets better. Like you just feel good. And when people take this, they don't want to get off of it, right? So we got our Renew right there. And the last thing is this that I'll share with you. Does anyone here know anyone that wants to just be healthy? So, yeah, there's one word that you want to make sure you understand. It's called inflammation. Inflammation is your body's immune response. Whenever you have a toxin, you have stress, you eat the bad junk, you have whatever that it is, you get an inflammatory response. Inflammation is why 80+% of diseases happen. Heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's, you just name it, right? So if you can find a way to lower inflammation, it makes life better. So QN Noni, this little thing has had, oh my gosh, and Art knows way more about this. I'll have him probably talk about this a bit. He was around seeing this. This has sold $8 billion with a B dollars of product in its lifetime. Because when you take this, it has really high dosages of antioxidants called iridoids. Super simple, 1 shot a day, 1 pouch a day. I say keeps the doctor away. Don't quote me on that. That's not a medical claim, but it's super simple. It's easy to use. Kids love it. All the way up to all ages can use this, and it's healthy and it's simple to take down and everything. So we've heard from pain relief, better sleep, better mood, like so many different types of things. Talia said it works. Yeah, Talia lost weight on this as well too, right? But let me ask this question. Who here out of any of those products could see even yourself using at least one of them or know someone that could use one of them, right? Give me a wave or throw a 5 in the comments as well too, right? Like it's huge. This is what you want to look for when you take a look at some type of a business, okay? Now you might ask, well, James, well, how does it work? It's real simple, okay? You partner with a company with a one-time $30 membership fee. So you can partner with all the brands of the product. And you're now in access to 50 countries around the world. Number 2, what do? Try some of them, experience some of them. The investment for this business is simply eating your own investment, you know? And as you eat your own investment, you're just getting healthier, right? And you know, the way I thought about this, I spend money on a lot of this stuff anyway. Now I might as well invest in yourself and make some money for yourself as well too, right? So there's various levels of involvement, but keep in the back of your mind, if you're like business savvy, you're looking for a serious opportunity, you're going to want to think about something called Ultimate. So kind of just think about that in the future. And then what do? Well, from there, you're in our comp plan, top rated in the world. I'm going to show you how to do a couple of things. Number 1, we're going to show you how to very simply, in a non-spammy, non-annoying, professional way, sell the product. I don't know about you. When I saw a business like this, I'm like, I don't want to be that person. You know that person that we all have, that friend that we all have, that's always trying to sell you something. And you're like, come on, I just want to have dinner right now, right? We don't want to tell you, we're not going to teach you how to do that, okay? How to do it professionally. So that when you get the product out there, you can actually, for any of these products, you can make anywhere between 30 to 50% profit. And it's not too tough to do. We're going to show you all the systems, right? In fact, we have a person here, Robin Peroni. She really pioneered something. She's a mom out there in the East Coast, small town, used these drops. She lost like 5-10 pounds, loved it. And she just started sharing her journey. Fact sell, story sell. One drop sale ended up turning into thousands. Within her first 5 weeks, she made $10,000 just by selling the drops. And she's a mom, she has other things going on, and it's now duplicated like crazy. So I'm just telling you, not everyone does it, of course, but it's powerful because that means people want the product. You want to find something people actually want to consume right there, right? And then finally is this leverage. This is what I believe is the coolest part about this business. You don't have to do it by yourself. Now, I'm sure all of us can think of a couple people to help, but I don't know about thousands. How do you do that? Everybody knows somebody. Does anyone here know of at least 2 people that wouldn't mind making some extra money on the side? Help with the groceries, help with the gas, right? Maybe they want to vacation more. Maybe they want to retire. Partner with 2 others, and we help them start to learn this business. As they make money, you make a little cut as well too. In fact, 15%. And it's not just who you know, it's who they know. You can partner with them. You can build a sales team. You can partner up together, and everyone ties in together. Everyone starts making money together. Where to make it really simple, if all you had was 2 strong teams here, 2 strong leaders, you can make a $10,000 a month passive residual income part-time. Now, it's not overnight. It's going to take some work. You're going to have to learn some things. But let me ask you this. What other side business out there, what other side job even has the capacity to even generate a 6-figure yearly income? I don't know of anything else. That's why I like this. And all we're doing is transforming lives as amazing products. And we're going to show you exactly how to do it. All right. Yeah, I'm part-time. So I'm not going to go too much into this. I want to bring up some. We have a lot of support, by the way. We have many amazing teams that are on this line. If you're working with us, we have a team called the Warrior Movement. We're literally going to equip you guys step by step training systems. I see Angela on the line. She just got started with us. She already got her first customer, first sale in her first week, and she's just super excited about that. So we're going to show you what to do. So anywho, I wanted to bring you guys someone really special, because one big thing that I've learned is if you want to do well in life, simply surround yourself around other people that are crushing it and just copy what they do, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. And what I love about this company is there is such a strong leadership. You're going to learn from all different types of people, all walks of life that are doing the same business, but they're going to show you literally what they're going to do it and how they're going to do it. Art Lee, I've had the opportunity to meet on multiple occasions. I was on the phone with him today, and I've been telling the team this. Art's one of those people that you look at him and you're like, I think when he sleeps, he still looks cool. You know, like this guy just has this swag to him. He has this wisdom to him. But the reality is this, it wasn't always like that as well too. He's learned a lot. He's grown so much. And he's such an incredible servant leader. He's on the East Coast. It's late nights for him, but he wanted to come on this call. But I want to introduce you guys to Mr. Art Lee. Art, how are you, my friend?
Man, I am super fantastic. I'm excited to be here with you. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Awesome. I got to tell you, I am so excited. I'm traveling, so I had to stop and set up and get set up for this. But I was telling my wife, Vivian, earlier that I'm so excited to be here with you and Becky this evening and the whole entire team, because, you know, for me, I always tell people I put the team first. Nothing happens without your team. And so no matter what we think about people from, you know, some of the celebrities we know and the presidents and athletes and all of these people, none of these people would be who they are today if it wasn't for what? The team. And so I'm just so grateful to be here with the team this evening. So I'm ready to do whatever you want to do, whatever we want to talk about. Let's do it.
Whatever we want to do. All right, man. Well, I'm not going to challenge you to a push-up contest because I think you beat.
Yeah, because you might lose that one.
Exactly. Well, Art, for those of us that don't, now you're I consider a financial freedom coach. I know that's where your heart's at. I know you teach people on how to actually generate wealth and so many things. I'd love to cover some of those topics later. But I know it wasn't always like that. Prior to getting into this type of business, like, who is Art Lee?
Yeah. So, you know, let me just give you a quick introduction of me. I'm originally from South Carolina, born and raised in a place called Florence, South Carolina. And I now reside in Delaware for the last 30 years. I have just, you know, and let me say this, we all have amazing stories, by the way. My story, I was born with lung cancer at birth. And so they removed the right bottom portion of my lungs at birth. I was not supposed to live, was not supposed to be here with you guys today. And I tell people that story first and foremost because I'm just grateful. I'm one of those people that every day, if you ask me every day, how am I doing? I am super fantastic because I believe it's a choice. And so, so I grew up as a very sickly child, a lot of challenges, because missing that portion of my lung. And I got picked on a lot in school because I stutter and I had breathing problems and I had all these issues that as a kid you just don't want. And I'm very thankful to God that I was able to overcome all those challenges. And I come from a single parent. I want you guys to really understand this. My mother was a single parent of 6 kids. And so we grew up in one of those challenging neighborhoods. She had, and I want you to listen to this, she had an 8th grade education, but the way she raised us, the fundamentals are unbelievable. If you could meet my other 5 siblings today, you would go, wow, like so much has happened from just my mother and understanding how important parenting is. But one of those things about that, I'm gonna give you a few tips before I leave today. But one of the things my mother always taught us was your association can and will dictate your destination. And that just stuck with me. And so later on in life, I went through some really crazy things that's not enough time to share all of them. But I want you guys to understand that I've been through probably everything that is bad that people can go through. And when I say bad, I'm talking about everything from, living a homeless life to, bankruptcy, to foreclosures, to, obviously the health issue, to, challenges with understanding how to get my foundation spiritually. My mother, every single night, ever since I could remember, we had to, all 6 of us had to kneel around the bed at nighttime, and we had to say the Our Father prayer. And then after the Our Father prayer, each one of us had to say a special prayer to God. And, I tell people, regardless of what you do later on in life as an adult, as a parent, I just feel you have an obligation to teach, some fundamentals of that spiritual obligation. That's how I feel about it. So don't judge me on that. And so later, through all my challenges, I joined the United States Coast Guard. I spent 7 years with the United States Coast Guard in the intelligence field. And then I migrated from that into the police world. And I was telling James earlier today, I did a lot of undercover work. I don't even know if I'm proud of it today, because that's why you guys can't find me on Facebook, because I have to stay hidden right now. But I'm going to come out at some point. But unfortunately, there was a point in time where we had to have a marked police car outside of my house 24/7 a day because of all the death threats that I was getting. And so, sometimes I got my mind, it's probably in my mind, by the way, and I'll talk about that later, because your mind can't get the best of you. But probably in my mind that I think, I told James earlier, I don't want people to find me easily. I want you to have to work to find me if you're looking for me. And so I eventually retired as a homicide detective from that job. And, the interesting part about this industry, and I was sharing this with James earlier, my oldest daughter is an internal medicine doctor. My youngest is in her 4th year of medical school. But the exciting thing I was sharing with him was I've been making doctor salary for a long time. And it's amazing because I don't have none of the degrees for that. But the exciting thing is that James mentioned this earlier, that making money while you're sleeping, earning money. I always believe that there is always a way to work smart, not hard. And everything begins with the thought. We all know this. Everything begins with the thought. But the challenge is sometimes is that we have this conversation with ourselves, right? And I want you to listen to me, and I'm going to turn it back to James for a second. We have a conversation with ourselves almost every day. And the conversation that we have with ourselves, I call it the battle of the mind. But the battle of the mind, it's really just you and you. you're battling with yourself. So if you're battling with yourself, how crazy is it for you not to win? Because it's just you and you. And so whenever you're having this you and you conversation, you should say to yourself, well, when I'm done fighting with you, me and me, I'm going to win. Okay. And, I'll tell you a funny story how I came to this. I'm a runner. I jog today, but I run like 5 miles a day. And so years ago, I was running and I was almost at my 5 mile mark. And when I was getting close to the 5 mile mark, I was going to stop. And then I said to myself, wait a minute, you don't tell me when to stop. I tell you when to stop. And so when we got to the 5 mile mark, I kept running because I wanted to tell my mind that I control you. You don't control me. Outside of God, I control me. And I'm telling you, that is one of the most powerful breakthroughs that I've ever had in my life. And as I got into the industry of MLM, multi-level marketing, it really taught me so much about what you are capable of doing. So James, I can keep going. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to turn it back to you, and we'll keep talking.
I hope you're getting golden nuggets out of this, everybody. You see the success, these little things here. What I'm hearing, for example, Art, is life's working for you or against you. You can choose your path, choose your response to it. And how about you? I'm sure we've all gone through some tough stuff, but just even one of the multiple things that Art's gone through, that would have derailed me. But you see him right now, and it's the response to that, right? He's grateful to be here. So my question to everyone is, for the things that are even bad in your life, can you legitimately be grateful even in those situations? Because there's a secret right there. We're going to give you the skills, we're going to give you the business, but the attitude, the mindset, I so agree, Art, like that's a big piece of that, So, wow. Okay. So we have that piece down now. And then when you took a look at network marketing for the first time, like how did that happen? Was it like your cup of tea? Did you fall in love with it right away, or what was your response like that?
Oh, I tell you, James, I'm going to try to make this long story short, because whenever somebody say, I'm going to make this short, they make it long. I'm going to make it short. So in my police world, I spent 3.5 years on the street as a police officer. Okay. So doing all the regular crime that you guys would see, dealing with that. After 3.5 years, they promoted me to detective. My detective sergeant, which is my boss, said to me one day, I want you to go to a meeting. And I want you guys to understand, it's my boss. What am I supposed to say? No. So I go to the meeting. And I never heard about network marketing, multi-level marketing ever in my life. And so we go there, and it's like $499 to get started in business. But I'm going to tell you what I remember. What I remember was you could make $11,000 per month residual income. And I did understand residual income. And so the next day he walks in and he puts this box on my desk. And he say, listen, when you get paid, give me that $500. People don't understand that is how I got involved in network marketing. And in order to get your $500 back, some of the people are familiar with the company I'm talking about, ACN. In order to get your $500 back, you had to sponsor 5 people. So I was like, I got to get my $500 back, because at that stage in my life, I was living paycheck to paycheck. My wife and I, we don't have $500 to throw away. So within a week and a half, I sponsored 5 people. And I got to tell you guys, it was my very first experience with network marketing. In 14 months, I hit the second highest corporate position in the company. I had no idea what I was doing other than just sharing with people. I don't believe in trying to sell people. I've never been this guy that you look at me and you go, what is he going to try to sell me on now? I'm not a seller, not at all. I'll tell you what's happening and I'll let you get interested, because it's always easier when people become more interested in what you're doing versus you trying to sell them on what you're doing, okay? And so in 14 months, I hit the second highest corporate position. My sponsor, who was my detective sergeant, he came to me, he said, can you teach me? Can you train me? And so that was my experience in network marketing, my first experience. And, to put numbers to it, on average, I was doing around $7,000, $8,000 a week. And that was like, for me, that was life changing. It was like, my wife and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And so you know, it began to open my mind up to a lot more things in terms of this direct selling industry.
Oh my gosh, that's no joke right there. Hey, put a 1 in the comments if you wouldn't mind 10% of $8,000 a week right there, right? But there's power in this type of business, absolutely, when you work it. You've coached many people now all around the world. And I know you've seen there's patterns of success, there's patterns of failure. Some people say, well, only certain people can do well in this type of business, and I'm not that type of person. What have you seen lead to success in this business?
Now I'm going to tell everybody this. This is something I learned, and I believe it's going to resonate with every single person I'm getting ready to say this to. The principles of success, they never change. The principles of success, they never change. From the time you had to learn how to walk, the principles there, they don't change. From the time you had to learn how to tie your shoes, the principles, they don't change. From the time you had to learn how to drive a car or whatever that is that you deem to be successful, finished in high school, finished in college, the principles, and I want you to think about the principles that you had to apply. And those principles, you know, in terms of having discipline and commitment and consistency and doing it, watch this now, doing it even when you didn't feel like doing it. Every single person on this conversation this evening can relate to one thing. There was days none of us wanted to go to school, but we had to in order to finish and complete that success part of it. And so I always tell people, when I start to focus on, and I'm just, for whatever reason, God blessed me to be a business type guy. And I start to realize that in any business, those principles, you must apply them. Whatever we're doing here, if you want to raise kids and you want your kids to be successful, you want to be a successful parent, the principles, they still don't change. They are always the same. The principle, if you get nothing out of my conversation this evening, what I learned in life is the principles of success. They never change. And so if you're in business, you're like, I'm not having success. Let's go look at the principles. And that's my conversation, James.
Ooh, that's straight talk right there.
Yeah, it is real.
Right? Like
everyone can relate to that. Everybody. Yes.
Oh, for sure. I mean, take a look at it. Like, I remember when I got started, I'm like, how do I sell the product? Learn from those that do it and just copy what they do over the course of time consistently, even when you don't want to do it. You'll figure it out.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So, Art, you've seen a lot. You're extremely business savvy. I'd like to know 2 questions, basically. First one's this. I mean, is it worth it? Like, I know you mentioned in your first year, you got to 8,000 a week. That sounds really cool and everything. But as you look now back in this career, you've done many things, many businesses, you've seen many types of things. In this type of business specifically, what have you seen the fruits of? Like, what are some of the biggest things that you've enjoyed or even seen other people enjoy from this?
You know, over time, James, I'm very grateful, thankful that I've grown. I've grown to a point that I rarely do I tell people the life I live, because people tend to hear that wrong sometime, in my opinion. They hear it as, you know, kind of braggadocious, if that makes sense. And I've grown to the point people really don't care that you live here and you drive that and you got this much in the bank. And you know what they care about? Honestly, themselves. What can I get? How can you help me? Forget what you got, Art. How can you help me get that? That's what I want to know. Listen, I'm glad that you got all that, Art, but I don't even want to hear about that, truthfully. I want to know, how can I do that? And so I've grown over the years because I've done a lot of presentations in people's homes, and you know, I'm telling them, you know, about, you know, all of my success, and I realized, like, first of all, that's not why God really blessed me in the first place. He blessed me so that I could bless others. He didn't bless me so that I could talk about what I have. He blessed me so that I could mentor and coach and have other people be able to learn how to fish the way my mentors taught me how to fish. And so I always look at that, and it's there's so many things go through my mind, and I have a lot of nuggets in my head, just so you know. Can I just sidebar give everybody a nugget real quick?
Yes, please.
So one of the nuggets I learned, and I do a training on this, and it's called the bum mentality. Okay, and I want you to hear me clear on this bum mentality, right? I'm not gonna do the training, but I'm just gonna give you the gist of it. Okay, the bum mentality training is really interesting because the training that I do, it teaches you to think like a bum, not act like a bum. Think like a bum, but not act like a bum. Now, everybody's going to relate to this conversation because I don't care what country you live in or what city you live in. We all have seen people that are begging as bums for money or whatever the case may be. But here is the interesting part. They never get offended with you saying no. They never get offended when you don't roll down your window. They don't get offended when you drive off. And watch this now. They always put themselves in an area that's populated so that they can go through what? Numbers. So when you think like that from a business perspective, and yes, we're talking about, our company Partner Co, but I promise you, I own multiple businesses. It works in any business. Because in every business, you must have what? Customers. And in order to have customers, you can't be emotionally attached to this. And so when you think like a bum, remember the bum is not emotionally attached to you at all, at zero. The bum is focused on what they're doing. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. That's the bottom line. That's what they do. All right, I'm done, James. I'm gonna go back to you. I had to digress on that one real quick.
I have to add on one thing as well too, right? Which is this question of, what do I do? No one's saying yes. I don't know who to talk to. If I'm a bum, I think I'm like, if I'm growing hungry, I'm gonna go find where the traffic is.
Yes. Listen, watch this. The bum doesn't sit back and call his friends and family, and he don't do that. He doesn't do that. So why do you do that? No, what do you do? Think like the bum. Don't act like them, but think like them. That's all.
Changed my life. At convention, you're gonna see me in a different outfit, Art. I'm gonna come. Anywho, my last question would be this, Art. We could talk for days. Hey, if you guys are enjoying tonight, put a 10 in the comments below. So much wisdom. I got a whole notepad full of stuff here. There's unique timing now. Partner Co, we relaunched 5 months ago. We're gearing up for a big event in just 6 weeks from now in Orlando. And I'm curious, from someone that's had so much experience like you have, so much wisdom, so much knowledge, what about right now as an opportunity are you most excited about?
I tell you, and you and I, James, you and I talked about this earlier today. First of all, let me say, I'm so excited about Partner Co. And I was on the phone with Darren and John a couple of weeks ago, and I had a new person that was interested. And one of the things that was most attractive to this individual, and he has a history of network marketing. One of the things most attractive to this individual is that the company Partner Co, they really, ladies and gentlemen, they really do listen to us. James and I talked about this earlier. You don't find many companies, that listen to you. They have their own plan, and they really could care less what you think at the end of the day. Whereas, James and I sit on the Partners Council, and he can tell you, they are always asking us, what is it that you guys want? Meaning you guys as a team, what is it that you want? And so for me, my excitement with Partner Co and the direction that we're going is that it's just such a breath of fresh air to have individuals that really, they don't just, walk the walk, they talk the talk. And that to me it's important to me because I've been around for a while. And I will say this, I tell people all the time, you cannot appreciate bad until you have some good. And what I mean by that is it's interesting, like finally you get something good and you realize how bad that other thing was, but you thought the other thing was actually good until you got something really good. And like, oh man, so I thought some of my other companies were really good until I finally got good. And I'm like, man, they were bad. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But yeah, I'm excited about Partner Co. I'm excited about, the direction we're heading right now. And, getting ready for Orlando is just going to be, it's going to be an exciting time. There's just so much excitement and momentum going on right now. I would just encourage everyone, to remember that when, there's only two types of people, right? In this world, only two types of people. There's the people that's buying and the people that's selling, right? Okay. So at the end of the day, we're on the selling side, right? But we don't need to come across as selling. But I want you to take this away from this conversation. The number one thing that you're always selling, and everybody knows this. It's you. You're always selling you first. You're always selling you first. And I, it's hard for me sometimes, and I'm very passionate about this because I mentor a lot of my younger guys are mentees. Their generation is a little different. And I try to help them understand that you are selling you first. And you have to ask yourself when you go to the mirror, and I'm talking to all of us, by the way, when you go to the mirror and you look at yourself, you say, would I follow me? Would I follow me? When you think about your lifestyle, I do a financial literacy training every Friday morning. And I always talk to people about their financial portfolio. When you look at your financial portfolio, would you follow that person? And so my point to the question is, make sure that you are building and you are moving in the direction that it is something that you would follow. Because if you follow it, then we're good. But if you start questioning yourself about, whoa, I don't know, I'm looking in the mirror, I look crazy, I got, whatever I have going on, and I say that very, very respectfully, because if I could show you guys a younger picture of me, y'all would say I look crazy. You wouldn't follow me. It is what it is. But I do want, I'm going to give you 4 things before I wrap up here, because I know our time is up. 4 things that always I found that was impactful to me. And I got to tell you guys that, coming from the police world, I really had to work on myself to become humble. And I say that very sincerely, because in the police world, we don't have to sell you on anything. We don't have to try to convince you on anything. I tell you to do it. You don't do it. There's consequences. And I had to grow past that. I'm so thankful to God that I was able to pray myself through this part of life, because it's so easy for us to get off track as individuals, because we all go through this thing called life. I was talking to James earlier, and I was telling him that one of the trainings I do is focused on building solid foundations in your life, building a solid spiritual foundation, building a solid mental foundation, building a solid health foundation, building a solid financial foundation. We're all going to fall down. We can't help that. It's part of life. The question is, when you fall down, how hard is it for you to get up? If your foundation is not solid, it's just like a house. If the house built on a weak foundation, well, when it goes bad, it's done. And so 4 things I'll leave you with that always, I look back on my life and go, what really helped me out? One was my attitude. My attitude, and I tell you, attitude was like number 1 to me, because every day you decide what your attitude is like. I've looked in the mirror so many times at myself. I know what I look like, but I try to make sure I have a good resting face. Have you ever looked at somebody and they just look like they're mad? They look, they just angry, like they mean, like what? I'm like, can you smile? And then they'll smile, but they don't know that their resting face is not good. And so these are things that, I had to work on myself. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you this from an attitude standpoint. We all heard the old saying, attitude dictates your attitude, right? Your altitude. And then association. When I tell you the one thing that God revealed to me that was impactful was that art, if you change your association, man, it will change your life. I'm serious about that. Like, it's something so simple that we overlook all the time. And then the number 3 thing that was really strong to me was discipline. And discipline really should be first, because discipline gives you everything that you need. Like, if you can discipline yourself to do some of the simple things, then when you get the bigger things, you're great at it. And then the last thing I tell everybody, man, consistency is your friend. It's the best. And let me tell you, that is your best. Listen, consistency is my best friend. As lazy as I am sometimes, and we all have a lazy bone, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't care who you are. You got a lazy bone sometimes. You know what I mean? I tell people, you wash clothes. I do my own laundry, right? Because I like my laundry done a certain kind of way. So my wife is like, she's happy that I like, because she don't have to do my laundry. But here's the interesting part. A lot of people do laundry and, they wash clothes, they dry them. And then when they pull them out, they throw them on the chair or the couch, or whatever, and they just leave them there. You know why? Because it's just easy. It's not that it's hard. It's just easier to leave them there than to fold them up and put them away, right? Well, that becomes our life, by the way. A lot of times, it's not that it's hard to do what we're talking about. It's just easier not to do it. Consistency is your friend. If you get consistent at things in your life, man, listen, it's a beautiful thing. James, I want to say one thing. In my 3.5 years on the street, I used to stop a lot of cars. And when I would stop people and I would ask them for their license, registration, and proof of insurance. I want y'all to listen to this now. Because listen, if I step on your toes, I apologize. I'm not trying to step on your toes. But I would ask them for their license, registration, proof of insurance. And when I tell you I had some people fumbling through glove compartments, fumbling through the purses, they can't. You know what that told me? That told me that their life was not organized. Because how hard is it for you to keep your license in a place that you know is very important that you need, and your insurance card and registration card? You already know the game. You know how this works. But because I used to own a mortgage company, I can tell you I would go back and look some of those people up. Their credit is all messed up. Their life is in shambles. It's not just that. And so I say all of that to say sometimes we as individuals, I had to go back and work on my core. I had to work on my core because these things that show up, they show up in other areas of our life. James, I'm done. I appreciate, man, this conversation. I love people. I enjoy helping people because God sent so many people into my life to put me where I am today and help create me. And I'm one of those people. I'm grateful. I'm overly grateful sometimes that if I was an emotional person, that I shouldn't say emotional, but if I couldn't control my emotions, I would have been crying a couple times a night, just so you guys know. But I do that after the call.
Thank you so much, brother. Hey guys, if you loved art, put a 100 in the comments below. So many nuggets. This is one you might want to rewatch. This is one you might want to replay and everything. Art, thank you so much for your time here. And by the way, if you guys had an opportunity to meet Art, who here would like to meet Art in person? Put a me in the comments below if that'd be super cool. You know how I feel whenever I meet someone that mentors me. The greatest thank you you can give to them is going up to them and showing them what you did with what you learned from them. You tell them, Art, I remember that one call. This thing changed my life. Look what happened to my life now. And there's an opportunity. You heard from Art, there's a special event, whether you're a partner or not yet, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be the first time ever. Let me play this real quick, actually, for you guys. And you're going to see a company that is about to launch and create and break some serious records. All right, let me play this real quick so you guys can take a look at this. September 15th through 17th, the biggest party in the world, PXP 2023. The first of its kind is coming out. By the way, if you have your ticket for this, put a 1 in the comments. And if you don't yet, talk to the friend that brought you here. And I do anything possible to come to this. Art's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So many people are going to be there. You're never going to have a first again. But if you've been looking for the right opportunity, the right time, with the right culture, with the right everything, guys, this was a $1 million training today. And this was just the first call. Can you imagine when you're actually involved and what that looks like, So as we're wrapping this up, guys, you're gonna be a couple types of people. Some of you might have questions. If you're seeing this for the first time, you're a B, get back to your friend after this and pound on their door. Be the bum. You're like, what do I need to know about this, right? Some of you're looking at this, you might be like, I want to try the product first. I want to be a customer. Get to your friend. We'll definitely connect you with the right things to give yourself a shot. But there's also some of us here that you're like, I see it. I see this opportunity. I feel this movement. I see the potential. I want to be able to change me and my family's life. If that's you, you're an A. Put an A in the comments, by the way. This is the time to move. In the next 6 weeks, this is when it's first movers advantage. And the people that know what's going on, this is the time to promote, to pack, to grow, to build to that event. And after that, oh gosh, all right, we're going to have some fun races. I'm going to have to pick
Absolutely.
up my yeah,
Absolutely.
Man.
Hey, James, if I could say one last thing, and I open this conversation up with nothing happens without your team. And I just want to, I would be remiss if I didn't humbly thank my team for all the success that, you know, we've had. And some of you guys have heard of them, some of you have not. It's the MAD team called the Making a Difference team. You know, my partner who's not with us now, one of the greatest mentors ever, Valencia Pomfield, love it no end. I wish people the much success in whatever endeavors they choose to do. And I'm going to tell everybody this. We have to learn to just continue to treat people the way we want to be treated. And I'm telling you this, everybody just want to be loved. That's it. We all just want to be loved. I just want to be loved. I love all of you guys. Thank you, James. Thank you, Becky. And thank you, team. Appreciate you guys.
It's an absolute honor. Thanks so much, Art. And one last thing, if anyone's interested in learning more about the products, by the way, tomorrow night, we have our top health advisor, Lily Lou. She's going to go in depth on the products that you saw today. Anyone's invited to this, Lily's going to be dropping in the chat, and you can bring people to this. You want to expose the product to as well too. But anywho, other than that, everyone, if you guys see where this company is going and you want to be a part of the movement, put a 100 in the comments below, because we're looking for the next ones to partner with. We're looking for the next success stories. We're looking for the next art leads. There's many of them out there that have yet to be found. And this can be your time right now. All right, everyone. Hey, other than that, great seeing you all. Have a great evening. Feel free to unmute yourself and get back to your friend if you have any other questions. Other than that, have a great one. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, all. Take care.